How is it that we can hold a vibration of love and joy in the moment of now? Because all those feelings of joy and love and peace and freedom, they all exist right now. Obviously, meditation is a great tool. But I think what is the most important here now, moving into this new earth, how are we going to keep up with it? How are we going to hold our vibration and build a foundation for ourselves right now is more important. Hold it so we can adapt to the new frequency that's coming in. There's a lot of things that I've been doing personally to hold a vibration, a lot of simple little things that are just beautiful ways to hold the vibration. The heart is going to be what is most important moving into this new earth. It's going to create what we are looking for. This energy center has been ignored for a long time. Since we've been born, we've been taught to be in our minds and into the structure. And therefore, the heart has been ignored. And the portal closes. And that portal is our microphone to all of the divine. Anything that you can imagine is there. And we've stopped listening through it. And we've been using the mind. And the mind uses the structure. And it's been pumping us with fear and doubt. And the powers that be in this world have been manipulating our minds with fear. But what happens when we begin to acknowledge the heart and start focusing on the heart, it begins to take over as the commander. It begins to reveal to us our authentic path, our purpose. Because right now we are in the wheel of karma, and when we come here, we don't know what's best. We can't remember. We don't have the ability to see it when our heart is closed off. The heart is the portal that we're looking for. The heart is what the fifth dimension is going to be all about. The moment we stepped into these bodies, we're trained to ignore the heart. And yes, we do say hello to it every now and then. And yes, we do feel it every now and then. But really, when you wake up, what are you starting off with?
Like, I gotta do stuff.
We usually wake up with the mind.
With the mind, yeah.
And we usually finish with the mind. And that's why people have a hard time sleeping. And how much in between? Waking up and sleeping.
All day.
So the heart is getting ignored. What's the point? Wake me up when you're ready to use me. Wake me up when you're ready to make me the commander and let me show you your authentic path. Let me show you. Hi everybody, this is Malani, welcoming you to Malani Meditation Podcast. Please sit back, grab a cup of tea, and enjoy the show. Hi everybody, Malani here, and I'm here with Gadeesh. Another podcast, another day. We don't have an agenda here, so we're just going to get rolling with some questions and see what kind of channel comes forth and who steps forth. All I can tell you, it's going to be love and light, and it's going to help us move in this new earth. So I know that Gadeesh here has some questions that he's been sitting on, so we're going to get started with that.
Thank you, Malani. I'm just grateful to be here and talking about some deep subjects. My first question is, what's the quickest way to raise our vibration?
The quickest way to raise our vibration. There's all kinds of ways to raise our vibration. And I think a lot of us know ways to raise our vibration. Obviously, meditation is a great tool. But I think what is the most important here now, moving into this new earth and this new dimension that's already here, how are we going to keep up with it? How are we going to hold our vibration is more important. Hold it so we can adapt to the new frequency that's coming in. A lot of us know that when we, for instance, are going to a pilgrimage vacation and we're really excited, that is raising our vibration. But we're also putting that ahead of ourselves. We're getting excited about an event that's coming up. That works in periods of our time. It's not working for the present moment of our vibration and how we're holding our vibration now. How is it that we can hold a vibration of love and joy in the moment of now? Because all those feelings of joy and love and peace and freedom, they all exist right now. To me, it's more important, how can we hold a vibration and build a foundation for ourselves right now? So meditation in the morning is a great way to get started, to set your day up. Set your day up. Don't let the day set you up. Don't prolong something and let your day determine how you're going to feel, and then do your meditation to defuse from the day that just beat you down. You set it up how you want it. You create the atmosphere of how your day is going to roll. You envision how you're going to feel this day. You create your atmosphere and feel as if it's already here, and bring that state of being in before the day starts. You create it. And then how do we hold those vibrations? There's a lot of things that I've been doing personally to hold a vibration. A lot of simple little things that are just beautiful ways to hold a vibration. Whether we're at work, at home, with our families, on outings. A lot of people go out for the weekends, and I notice not as many hits on the meditation channel on the weekends. So I feel like a lot of people are doing it when they need to do it, when things are hard, when things are more challenging for them. That's when they have to do they're not making some consistent effort to meditate every day. Building consistency is also very important. 10 minutes in the morning is better than 1 hour once a week. And it's hit the parts that are most important for us going into this new earth, and that is the heart. The heart is going to be what is most important moving into this new earth. It's going to create what we are looking for. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So what does it look like when you have an open heart and you're really connected to the heart? What's that going to look like?
What's it going to look like? I can tell you what it feels like and how things are going to start changing in our lives. First of all, it feels like childlike in your chest. I'm not talking about the physical heart. I'm talking about the energy center that sits right in the center of our chest. This energy center has been ignored for a long time. Since we've been born, we've been taught to be in our minds and into the structure, and therefore the heart has been ignored. And the portal closes, and that portal is our microphone to all of the divine. Anything that you can imagine is there. Angels, saints, it's all there. There's a portal right there in your heart. Stop listening through it. And we've been using the mind, and the mind uses the structure, and it's been pumping us with fear and doubt. And the powers that be in this world have been manipulating our minds with fear. And so we feel like we have to control our outside environment. But what happens when we begin to acknowledge the heart and start focusing on the heart, it begins to take over as the commander. It begins to reveal to us our authentic path, our purpose. Because right now we are in the wheel of karma, and when we come here, we don't know what's best. We can't remember. We don't have the ability to see it when our heart is closed off. So when we start to pay attention to that heart, that portal begins to open up, and we can hear, feel, and see what's in line for us. Something very special is waiting for us. And then when that heart starts to open, you'll start to feel like excitement for no reason. You just feel an excitement. And it's not dependent on something. It's not dependent on a vacation. It's not dependent on a relationship. It's not dependent on anything. It just feels exciting. And it feels joyful. Like you just want to burst out and laugh. And there's nothing being said or nothing being done. You just feel so amazing. Compassion. The compassion is overwhelming in the heart. You have so much compassion for everything. Knowing that it's all one. That heart starts to awaken. You can hear the divine. You can feel the divine. You can feel the message. You can hear the message. Most people assume this is the third eye, but the heart is the portal that we're looking for. The heart is what the fifth dimension is going to be all about. I can assure you that. I can assure you that's going to be about heart and community. And we're not going to be able to take this busy mind with us that works from the structure, this mind that competes with each other, the mind that judges ourselves and others, the mind that wants the best car because it makes us look good, or the mind tells us that we're bigger than this person or that person. Ego. We can't go with that. We have to go ahead with the heart. We have to move forward with the heart. When that awakens, your world, your reality will shift so quickly into this authentic path that we've been waiting for. A healthier lifestyle, vitality, love, light, joy. It starts to open up. All those things are going to come in. It's like that scientist. He did, I'm not sure, I can't tell you exactly what his name is or where he's from. I watched it some time ago and it just started coming back up again. He did something with rice. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it's the Japanese, I forget his name though, I can't remember his name, but he did experiments with water and he froze it, and then when you put the sound into the water, like love, and he put a bunch of different phrases in it, it would change the structure of the crystals in when it froze it. And you saw the most beautiful snowflakes when it was like love and compassion, and then like when you would put like hate or annoyance or just, the lower vibrational thoughts into it, it would change the whole structure and it would look almost like distorted, So I think it's called the miracle of water, or
that one is the message of water.
The message of water, yeah.
The one I was thinking about also, and that one's a beautiful one because the intent of writing love on the glass is really where the vibration comes from. The intent. Because they wrote it in several different languages, right?
Yeah, it was the intent behind it, yeah.
Or did he speak, I love you or something?
Or he would say, like, I love you to it, or he would write on it. And then...
See, I think there's several different ones, and we're kind of mixing
It's the same guy, though.
Okay.
And I think what you're thinking about is he did an experiment with rice. So he put rice in with some water. He put 3 different, cups with rice and water. And he would wake up every day in the morning, and he would go to one, and he would say, I love you. And then he would go to the next one, and he would say, I hate you. And then he would completely ignore the other one. And
that's the one.
And it's the same guy.
Yeah, that's the one I'm trying to use for that. The importance of it is because the one I love you had great results. It actually had a fragrance, right?
It turned actually into like a sake almost, and it was like fragrance and like turning a sake. And then there was one that was, I hate you, like was all just, I don't know, almost started like rotting. But the worst one was the one that was ignored.
And that is what's important here, because this says so much about how we ignored our heart since the moment we stepped into these bodies. We're trained to ignore the heart. And yes, we do say hello to it every now and then. And yes, we do feel it every now and then. But really, when you wake up, what are you starting off with?
Usually, I gotta do stuff. I start thinking about stuff.
We usually wake up with the mind.
With the mind, yeah.
And we usually finish with the mind.
Usually.
And that's why people have a hard time sleeping.
Usually,
because the mind is busy and they're thinking about all the to-dos and how far behind they are and all that. So, and how much in between, waking up and sleeping.
All day.
So the heart is getting ignored. So it's kind of like that rice. What's the point? Wake me up when you're ready to use me. Wake me up when you're ready to make me the commander and let me show you your authentic path. Let me show you. But we've ignored it. And if you ignore something, it's just going to go off and go to sleep. There's no doubt about it. And then the mind it's been so used to being the commander, it actually fights to hold it. That's why it disrupts your meditations. That's why it's always trying to get in there. It's because it's like, whoa. Why are you taking me out of here? I'm in charge here. So now we have to flip that. And I got several ways that we can do this, and we'll go over them throughout this podcast. A simple little thing we can start off with is, how about we do what the scientists did to the rice? How about we just say, I love you? How often do we do that? And look what it did to the rice. Look what writing love on a glass of water did to a glass of water with the snowflakes. It didn't matter what language it was written in. It was the intent. And it was the attention of love to the heart. That's enough just to go, oh, hey, they're finally paying attention to me. I'm going to wake up a little bit. How many times in a day can we say, I love you to the heart? Take a few seconds right now. And let's pause and just say, I love you to the heart, and just see what it feels like. I'm talking about the heart center, not the physical. Just do it. That one little action will start to spring forth energy to that heart. And that's something simple we can do all day long. Now, let me take it a little bit further and put a little more intention behind it. That heart center, that sacred heart, that portal that's in the middle of your chest, that energetic portal that's been closed. Imagine it here. And you just said, I love you to it. So it starts to open a little bit. And through this portal is everything. It's everything that you can imagine. All the light beings of the entire universe are on the other side of that. Whatever you see, fairies, angels, saints, deities, or just the Divine Mother, Mother Gaia, all of it can hear you speaking to it through this portal when you say, I love you. Those words travel through that portal, and the whole universe hears it and feels it, and the vibration spreads because we are one. Now say it with that intention. What a difference.
It's a huge difference.
The intention behind it and how much that heart opens up. And it's so simple. It's so simple just to say hi to the heart. It's life-changing if we can hold these simple practices through our day. It will begin to shift the mind and the heart roles. The heart was always supposed to be the commander, not the mind. And we begin to shift the roles. You don't know what's best for you right now. The heart does. And it will begin to pave that road for you and show you the amazing things that are coming for this new earth for us. It'll show us. And it's not about making things in our life better, because things in our life now are from the old world. And they won't come to the new world. It's about seeing what's waiting ahead of us for this new world, these new communities that are going to build. We have never seen anything like it, so it's up to the heart, letting the heart guide us there, lead us there, because it knows. We've never seen it, so how can we pay attention to something that's not there? It's not about being a successful business person anymore. It's not about setting up goals, because all those goals and those things that we set up for our life, we need something, 6-year plan, 10-year plan, 15-year plan. All those things we're setting up is because we're afraid not to have something. We're in fear. And we're not going to be able to take fear with us to this new world. That illusion of fear. It is an illusion. It is an absolute structural, pumped illusion that has us under its control. Those powers that be will collapse because none of this can come. And we're going to go forward. We need to go forward in the heart. The heart is what's going to get us into the 5th dimension. The heart is what's going to help us adapt to this frequency that is of the 5th dimension that is already here. And if we're not using it, if we're not moving into it, we're going to fall behind. And we're going to feel it. I have several other things we can do with that heart throughout the day, but are you with me? You have any questions?
Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit more about the fifth dimension. So, I mean, what is that? What is the fifth dimension like in comparison to the old paradigm? Like, can you just
It's a frequency. There's a 3D and then there's the fifth dimension. It's a frequency. So there's all kinds of information about it. There's a lot of people channeling about what it looks like. I don't want to put something in somebody's mind. My channel is not about saying this is going to be absolute and this is that, because it hasn't been here before, so there's nothing there to pay attention to yet. My channel is to get out of the way so that we can receive this higher frequency, because Mother Earth is an organism that's alive and it has a soul and it has everything, and it's moving into this, and so are the bodies that are on it. Because if we're going to go, if the Mother Earth is going to go and we live here, we're going with it. Now, are we adapting to the new frequency as Mother Earth, as being reborn into this fifth dimension? Or are we just grasping and clinging to the old ways? So many people are. There's a lot of grasping and clinging. There's a lot of fear of not being successful. There's a lot of shame on ourselves still. There's a lot of I'm not good enough. All that can't come. None of it can come. That is all fear and doubt. And fear and doubt is not welcome into the fifth dimension. And we will feel that. It's time. It's time for us to move forward. And it's not as difficult as we make it out to be. You'll notice if we put those hearts in charge, it does it for us. It becomes very easy for us. Things just happen. Things just work out for us when we're in the heart. Everything works out for us when we're in the heart. Everything flows. It's beautiful. And I know that saying I love you to the heart is very elementary. It's very simple. But guess what? So is the divine movement. The divine is simple. It's quiet, like the heart. Complicated, planning, trying to organize the outside world, that's all structure. And that's all fear and doubt. And that is the mind. The mind is loud. The heart is silent and simple. Simplicity. That's why when people are in their hearts, they become minimalist. They eat cleaner foods. They stop eating heavy foods such as meat and heavy butters and creams. They become lighter, more live food. Fruits, vegetables, juices. You become lighter. This is how the new world's going to look. This is how the new world's going to feel, lighter. Because it's a fifth dimension, it's a higher frequency, and it's lighter.
So basically, it's just going to be more tapping into your heart. It's going to be more living in the heart.
It's going to be more heart, and it's going to be community of heart. There's going to be heart communities where it's not about money. It's not about I'm better than you. It's going to be about sharing and growing together and exchange systems. I can't tell you this is exactly what's going to happen. I don't want it to get in somebody's head. But this is an example of how it could look like, that I kind of feel in my heart what it's going to feel like, where there's exchange. I know how to make your home filled with some kind of conscious energy. I don't know what that is at this point. We probably haven't seen it. We haven't seen it. Because everything we have right now does something to the earth. The solar panels do something to the earth. But somebody knows how to install it, but they don't know how to garden. So there's an exchange right there. You know? There's a communities built on just sharing and growing and helping each other to move through this higher consciousness. It's a beautiful thing. We have to get through this hump, though. We have to switch our hearts over our minds, and we need to get the world on board with this so that there's a bigger groups of us making this movement. But we need to start with ourselves. One person becoming a great being is worth 1,000,000 that aren't. And that is a good movement. That is a great movement. All I can say that it's going to be very hard. And I know everybody's interested in the third eye and the crown and the other chakras, but the heart is going to align it all. The heart's going to take care of all of it. It's going to make the heart-mind connection. It's going to connect everything because it is our microphone. It is our portal. It is the center of our being. It is the most powerful energy center that we have and the most important going forth. Everything you want is there.
It's like the key to the divine in a way.
It's the doorway. It's the portal. And we've closed it up.
So how can you navigate in this world where there's obviously like structures that still exist in the three-dimensional reality?
By not paying attention to them anymore. Stop paying attention to the news. Stop. There's going to be a lot of things that are turmoil that's going to start coming up. It's going to start coming up like oil coming to the surface. Because all the frequencies are removing all of it, and it has to come up. And there are going to be casualties because of it. There's going to be things that happen because of it, but we don't know enough to understand that these souls didn't choose to be a part of this movement. We don't know enough. We can say from our structural viewpoint, from where we are in the cycles of karmas and this third dimension, fourth dimension kind of mentality, from our viewpoint, it looks awful. From a higher viewpoint, there are volunteers coming to make these movements happen as souls and choosing bodies to go through certain things to help this earth move into the fifth dimension. So we don't know enough. All we're going to be told through the news and podcasts and all these fear kind of things is look how awful this is. Look how awful this is. And that we will look at it and we'll tell everybody else how awful it is. So we're sitting here paying attention to fear and we're pumping ourselves full of fear, and that's all the mind, and that's all shutting down that heart. We're not seeing past what is actually happening here. We're not trying to see when we get some kind of news like that, feel it out, because we're also being lied to about it. Why is that happening? Why is it happening? Why we're told it's happening is two different stories. Because why it's happening is a divine movement. We can't see that. We have no reference to it. We don't know how to look at it. So it's best just not to get involved and let your emotions of fear and doubt get in there about it, and understand there's a divine movement and it will present itself. And the best way to stay away from that is to be in the heart. Now let's talk about some easy heart things that we can do. What do you say?
Yeah, sounds great.
Throughout your day, start off your day with some kind of heart meditation. Great. Whether it's 10 minutes every day, set your day up. And then, like we said earlier about saying I love you to the heart. And so what about also those glasses that he wrote on the water? He wrote love, and he wrote joy, and he wrote all these things. How much that did to the water. Created these snowflakes, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what about in your mind's eye, writing those words on your heart center? How could that not be so powerful?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely like evidence of that for sure. So
why wouldn't that work with our own heart? You're paying attention to your heart. You're sending the intent of love to it. That portal will begin to awaken. How often can you write on it? How often can you say I love you to it? Now, even more, what I've been doing is, you know, the infinity sign?
Yeah.
The sideways 8?
Yeah.
I've been putting that in my heart center. and I just let it, like the little pea of light, just travel around the 8, and I just set it right in that heart center. The center of the 8 is right in the big center of my chest, and I just keep moving energy through that heart. Just keep moving it. I'm driving in the car and moving it. I am listening to somebody speak, I'm moving it. So I can always get the divine message. When I wake up in the morning, I make my bed every morning, but some days I start to tell myself, I don't feel like making the bed today. And the moment I said I don't feel like, I put something in my heart, because I realize I'm not in the heart. And that thought goes away. It removes negative thoughts. If you say I hate, or I don't want, or I wish, all those are limiting thoughts. Put the 8 in there, or say I love you to the heart, or write love on your heart, and it kind of eliminates those. If you're found yourself in a conversation that's unpleasant, well, it's unpleasant because you're making it unpleasant because you're looking at it differently. You're looking at it that way. You wouldn't be in an unpleasant conversation if you didn't vibrationally match to it. So why are you vibrationally matching to it? Because you're not in the heart. So put something in your heart, and you're going to hear and see something different. Although the same conversation might be there, you might go, oh, this is trying to show me something. What is it? What's your message here? What's the real message here? Why am I sitting in front of you? Oh, I need to be in my heart more. I'm not vibrating to the right frequency. I'm out of alignment. I'm in alignment with this. So how can I get in alignment to something else? Oh, come back to my heart. Put the 8 in there. Another thing I've been doing is, those in the carnivals or whatever, they have that big pirate ship that rocks back and forth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I've been making that movement in my heart, kind of like cradling a baby. Like cradling that heart and rocking it. That's another beautiful movement. All you really want to do is put intent of saying hello to the heart. Whatever kind of movement you can put in there begins to spring it forth. And you're going to start feeling things differently. You're going to start feeling compassion. You're going to start feeling wonderful. You're going to just feel joyful. And the more you can do this in a day, the more you're going to wake that heart up. And then also you're just going to shift your world. And it sounds so simple.
It does.
I have a lot of people doing this now, and it is changing their world. And all of them are like, I don't know, this seems so simple. Like, why would this work? But then it took me to be persistent with them to keep doing it. And now they're very grateful that this was given to them. The ones that stick with it and do it. Because if you don't stick with it and do it, you'll never see that pot at the end of the rainbow.
Yeah, no, these are great tools. I mean, I've been doing it, and I've definitely not seen a huge difference in the way I am and the way things are presented to me, and it's amazing. So it's just these small little practices. If we just are consistent with it, it does huge changes in your vibration. So definitely do it.
And this is the simplicity of it now, and it's going, and there's more information coming about the heart and what we can do once it starts to wake up. But right now, let's just get it more awake. Right now, let's just get used to paying attention to it, and then down the road, a little bit later, we'll talk about the next step of the heart and how we can create better from it. We all have these things from the old world about manifesting a reality and creating what you want. We've all done this. I manifested this. As if the I exist. The one is in all and all is in one. Everything is one. I manifested this relationship. What about the other that's in the relationship? What about all the influences that brought us to this relationship? It takes the all to create a situation. But when we say, I manifested this, we take responsibility for the all. And that is ego. And the ego and the I is the biggest illusion. The ego and the I is what's creating all this suffering. And this is not going to be able to come to the new world. Understanding that this is our language, and even our language has to evolve. But at this moment, we don't see it. We use the word I in separation. But all is to be evolved in this new world. And it'll be more about community and unity. And the I must be dissolved. The ego is not coming. It's not going to be about, I did this, I did that. It's going to be about we as a whole, as the all. That is the old world. Where we're going, we haven't seen it. So it's best to get out of the way, because we're not going to have to worry about being hungry anymore in the new world. We're not going to have to worry about being broke. All this fear stuff is staying behind.
It sounds awesome.
Well, it is awesome, and it's already starting to be awesome. It just depends on how we're looking at the world right now. I challenge everybody to look at what's happening in the world. It's just the worms under the rocks are being exposed. And now we can look at them. It's going to create a movement. And the movement of change seems a little disruptive and ugly at first. But it will become beautiful. When the rock is removed and the sun can get in there, life starts to grow there.
That's beautiful. I guess my last question is about intuition from the heart. How do we know it's coming from the heart?
Does it have fear and doubt, or does it have love, light, and joy? Do you align with it? Does it make you feel good? When you ask a question, how does it make you feel? Which one makes you feel like lighter? Which one makes you feel like, this feels good? Who cares what everybody else tells you what you should be doing? Listen to your heart. Your heart's going to make you feel good about something. If you're feeling really good about a decision, you're in the heart, and trust it. If you're feeling negative emotions of fear, doubt, anxiety, depression, those are beautiful because they're telling you you're not in alignment with the heart. And it's just a message saying, I'm not in alignment. Let me get in alignment. Because none of those things are going to be able to come. So it's time to get in alignment with the heart. And forgiveness. The heart forgives. But the heart never judged in the first place. So there's nothing to forgive. That's what it was said about Jesus. A lot of his teachings are, Jesus needs to forgive you. But Jesus doesn't need to forgive you, and he never forgives anybody because he never judged anybody in the first place. Not even the people that were crucifying him. But forgiveness is a human thing that we're going to have to go through. Everybody, we can't bring resentment and hatred with us. Now, there was this process that I heard about forgiveness. And it's basically that we all come down here with contracts, with soul groups. And there's somebody in your soul group who's going to be more like the villain that disrupts our state of being so we can learn from it. Maybe it's your mother, maybe it's your father, maybe it's your brothers, your sister, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a relationship that was abusive, there is a contract with these people. And from this perspective, we can't see that contract. We don't know about it. We don't know why we are going through these abusive, hard things. There is a contract for it. And there is this forgiveness thing that we can do, is to go in there and imagine the person. Sit in front of the person and say we did the best we could do with this contract. We did the best we can do, and it's not working. And then take that contract and rip it up. And said, I release you and me from this contract, and it's time to go forth in love and light. I forgive you. Now go on in love, and I will go on in love. Move forth, because we have to forgive ourselves and everybody else.
It's a great message.
I actually can't remember where I got the message from.
No, but it's a good way to really release and forgive. And
it is. I found it very special, and it really helped me. I feel like I was mostly done with resentment and all that, but if there was any trace of it, it would have been on this particular group of people, and it was easy for me to release because I've done so much work, but I felt like the final strings have been cut with it by doing that practice. And then when we release all those karmas, when we forgive ourselves, that's a big thing. I forgive myself for all the damage and harm I've done on everybody and every life that I've ever lived. I forgive myself and release all that karma and all that energy so that you can move forth. I forgive everybody that's ever harmed me, and I'm going to move forth now.
Yeah, it's very healing.
Very healing. So everybody, it's about heart. I wish you well. I hope more of us move into heart. The ones that finish this podcast are probably feeling it. Others have left it. Whatever everybody's path is their path. But let's try to create a new world in heart and unity, and see past all the illusions of fear and doubt. Let's do this. The world needs to change, and we're the good news. Let's go out there and be the good news. Seriously. There's no time to wait, because the fifth dimension's here now. There's no time. It's now. Let's go out there and do it. Let's build community, heart community, and let's go. Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, everybody, for listening, and thank you for being the good news. If you found value in this podcast, please support my channel by liking and subscribing. Thank you. Namaste.